Hi, everyone. Today I will be discussing a fundamental issue regarding personal freedom and human rights, the right to choose. Did you know that according to a study done by Pew Research Center, the number of abortions occurring in the United States in 2020 was 40% lower than that in 1991? Abortion is a deeply personal choice, and it's important to talk about why it should remain legal and accessible for everyone. Abortion should be legal to protect bodily autonomy, women's health, and ensure social justice. Every person has the right to make decisions about their own body. Forcing someone to continue a pregnancy without their consent or against their will is a violation of this right. According to a study done by the United Nations Population Fund, they stated that only 55% of women and girls are able to make decisions about their own reproductive health. The same way that we protect someone from a medical procedure that they do not consent to is the same way that we should be protecting the right to choose. By not supporting people's right to choose, we are depriving them of their fundamental rights. Health is an important factor we need to think about when we discuss the legality of abortions. Research done by the World Health Organization states that people obtaining unsafe abortions are at a higher risk of death. Annually, 4.7 to 13.2% of maternal mortalities can be attributed to unsafe abortions. Abortions can be safe if they are done legally. The CDC reports that 0.41 deaths per 100,000 cases of abortion between the years 2013 to 2018. Additionally, research provided by the University of Colorado at Boulder states that an abortion ban would be detrimental to the mortality rate for maternal deaths. It would increase by about 24%, which is very significant in loss. Many lives are at stake here. It's very important to uphold the legality and accessibility of abortions. This is just to ensure that there are no social injustices and that people who are needing these services are able to get them and be provided for in a very safe environment. It's also important to consider the societal ramifications of restricting access to legal abortions. There are many social and economic consequences that can happen and that can come with unplanned pregnancy. And this not only affects the one person, it also affects entire communities and families as well. Guttmacher Institute states that not only Black, Latino, Indigenous people, and those in low income, but also transgenders. We also have non-binary people, and then immigrants, adolescents, as well as those with disabilities are at a higher disadvantage and will be more likely to incur an obstacle when it comes to trying to obtain an abortion. And this in turn would create a health risk for the individual that is seeking these services. And this is why it's very important to to continue to support legalization and accessibility of abortion. We need to ensure that people are able to access these things within a safe and healthy environment. Now, you can't talk about we can't talk about abortion without discussing the topic of morality. Common questions are, is abortion murder? Is it morally permissible? Pro-life advocates argue that abortion is really morally wrong. They believe that the fetus's right to life begins at the very first stage, which would be conception. The high rate of maternal mortality in conjunction with the high risk of social injustices precede the conflict of these values and the conflict of morality. And although it may appear immoral when we analyze the statistics and the data that we have provided, we can tell that this significantly outweighs the issue of morality. Even a study done by science.org states that a large number of Americans who morally oppose abortion would still help a friend and would still help a family member if they are seeking an abortion, which, is very significant. Could you imagine living in a world where you're not allowed to help the people that you love or help one of your best friends in their most time of need? That would definitely be an outcome that could potentially happen if there is a ban on abortion. In conclusion, legalizing and supporting abortion is not only a matter of policy, but it's also a matter of human rights and for health and autonomy over individuals and their own bodies. Everyone deserves the right to choose. Everyone deserves the right to make decisions about their own bodies and what happens in their own life. By supporting the right to choose, we are creating a society where people can thrive regardless of what their gender is. What we should be doing is we should try to advocate for a safe and respectful society from here on out in our future. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you have a good night.